first of all, thank you all for being here and waiting today and for covering this great event. It was an honor to be a part of it, and to have all these great teams. No one knows about it unless you're telling our story. So thank you guys for what you're doing. This was all about response and their ownership. And what I told them in the locker room is they learned the power of their own choice. They had a players-only meeting where they talked about how they wanted to handle some tactical things. And, it actually wasn't how we game planned some of it. But what happens is that it doesn't matter what it is when they choose to say, hey, we're going to make this work together. We're going to choose this. They can make anything work. And this was all about their response to a disappointing manner in which we played in the first half against Texas. And this wasn't about responding just to beat Duke. And, Duke's going to be a really good team, and they're going to respond as well. But this was about, for us, responding to play in the manner in which we need to play to be the best version of ourselves. And I thought the first quarter we really did that. We still have some things we need to cinch up in terms of consistency and urgency in some areas, but that was really important, that they were going to respond mentally and connected, and they did exactly that. So I'm really proud of them. Cori, do you have a stat? No? Thank you.
Hi, AP Stedham of AP As We See It. This is for Kiki and Gabriela. So what are some of the goals that you had for this game that you might have discussed that you're able to share?
Yeah, we just wanted to kind of work on the fluidity of our ball movement and how we really just controlled the pace of the game. I think, anyone knows watching us, we have a ton of really talented players on the floor at all times. So how can we be the most difficult to guard, putting people in their best positions? And I thought today you saw that, just the way we moved the ball, everyone got to their spots, got to their shots. And I'm just proud of how we responded in that sense and took ownership.
Yeah, and to add, we just wanted to come out better and come out of the gates ready to play and bring up the intensity and the aggression, especially on defense.
Willie Ramirez for the Associated Press. For either one of you, Kiki or Gabby.
Gabriela.
Gabriela, sorry. Coach said it, but in your words, how much was it needed to make a statement to yourselves beyond yesterday's game, just in general, to play like that?
Yeah, I mean, we have had and we continue to have, utmost confidence in ourselves, and I think this is a long season. It's November, so it's just about kind of figuring out, how we play best as a unit. And there's going to be ups and downs throughout the season, and staying confident in ourselves and who we have as a collective group is going to be the most important thing. But I just thought, showing the response and fight that we've demonstrated to ourselves is really big. And even in the second half of the Texas game, that fight started there, and I was really proud of. That was a really positive takeaway, and I think we can continue to carry that on throughout the season.
Gabriela, beyond that, the depth, I think we touched upon that the previous tournament here a couple of weeks ago, but to show the depth tonight without Lauren in the lineup had to mean something as well.
Yeah, again, we just have so much confidence. Obviously, we wish Lauren could be playing with us. But, when she's out, Coach Cori always says next woman up. And so we're always ready, and we're always putting in the work. And we want to have her back, too. If she can't play a game, we're going to come out ready. And I'm really proud of how we came out after yesterday's game.
This is for either one of y'all. You guys had two big games. Obviously, you get to go home, but you have Tennessee looming in 3 days. What are kind of some of your thoughts getting ready to reset for that? And then a week after that, you have your conference opener.
Yeah, I mean, we'll fly home tonight, recover tomorrow, and then, get prepped for Tennessee. Tennessee's obviously a great team, and we'll be ready for that. It's going to be a tough schedule, but this is going to prepare us for the postseason, so we're excited about the competition that we're going to play.
Kiki, Coach said you guys had a players-led meeting. It was only players. I'm just wondering how that went, and who kind of took the role of the leader to talk to everybody, or did you guys share that role?
Yeah, we just wanted to, like Coach Cori said, talk through some tactical things and just figure out how can we best get on the same page. But I think that was really big on I think we have really strong leadership in this team, and you see it everyone who's on the court, and we just have really good leadership. I think Charlize and Gabs did a really good job of just talking us through certain things that we wanted to get better on in the offense, and I think that just shows the extent of leadership that we have in this group.
Easy. All right.
Thank
go.
you.
Anything for me?
Hey, Cori, Tyler Luca with No Cap Space. First off, just in general, any update on Lauren? And then you heard about the next woman up mentality and on a game that feels important to bounce back up
Yeah.
and not have Lauren in that.
Yeah.
Just can you talk about that aspect of it to be able to go
Yeah.
and bounce back without her in the lineup?
Yeah, I thought, I wish you could earn, or I wish you could give them toughness and confidence. They have to earn that. And I think there's no shortcuts to earning it. You have to conquer hard things. And believe me, it wasn't the news I wanted. We were going to try, even as of, we were trying to test some things to see if we thought she could go, even up to shoot around. And our medical staff was just like, it's not wise. And so now we're, on to that next position. But, I'm sure there was obviously Lauren affects a lot of plays and on both sides of the ball. I was really interested to see how they would respond. What was their demeanor like? What was their talk with each other? And they really did choose that. The next woman up is let's go. We have plenty here. And play to our identity, execute the game plan, do it with our defense, want it more than them. One of the things I was really challenged them the most on is we didn't get our passion play goals against Texas. And I'm just like, of all the goals not to get in a game like that, I think that's a regret we're all going to have. Like, what led to that? And that's the thing I'm most excited about in their response today is that they did it. It wasn't always perfect. There's still things we need to clean up in transition defense and sort of the consistency of the scouting report and some things like that. But they really did, they leaned into the hard. And they grabbed and earned confidence and toughness today. And I specifically, Amanda Muse, she's been not feeling well. And so not only does she not have a ton of experience in some big moment games, but she wasn't feeling 100%. And so I thought there was when Angela Dugalich got in foul trouble and she came in and really made some really key plays for us, that's an example. And, I really give all of those. I thought Lena Bilic came in and gave us really good minutes. And, I thought that was going to be key. And I wish I could give it to them, but they earned it. And they earned some great confidence in their response.
Hi, Coach. Coach, do you encourage the player-only meetings? Do you
Yeah.
think that's a positive for your team?
Absolutely. And the reason I'm so excited about that is that we have been, this is a very mature team, a lot of experience, that anytime something is player-led, there's deeper commitment. They are solution-minded themselves. They're not looking at the bench for us to solve things for them. And in March, and to go win a championship, you need to have that. And I've been trying to do more and more things in practice where we don't provide the answers. That they have to work through chaos, work through failure, and learn to be solution finders on their own. And, I think it's, you as a coach, I want to help them, but that doesn't empower them. And I have a much deeper desire to empower them to learn to earn their best and to be empowered to do what they can do on their own. If they decide to take things on their own, there's such trust. It would be different if there wasn't trust built in relationships. And but I think bring it on. Do it every day if you want.
Cori, I stepped out and came back in as you were talking about Lauren.
Yeah.
If I may ask, you may have answered this. Is she available for Sunday? Do you know yet? Is it week to week? What is the ETA?
Yeah, I don't know. We did get some positive on our first details of some hopefully not really dangerous things, but we're going to have to get imaging when we get back and do things like that. So I don't know for sure. We were really trying to get her back to play today. And it was very evident this morning that it just wasn't going to be wise. But I probably won't know until we get some further testing done tomorrow.
And then slightly off topic.
Yeah.
You told me last week about these messages that Kiki sends you. What's the latest that you've gotten one, or have you woken up to one and she sends it like she's up watching film or doing something and she sends you,
Yeah.
see it's at 3 a.m.
Well, sometimes, she'll send me like a play she likes, or, I think I told you about the press conference of the Oklahoma City Thunder GM and thought it was very paralleled to some of our mindset and how we needed to approach things. Actually, it was just most recently we went back and forth between yesterday and today about we thought this was going to be a more guard-oriented game because of this, and how were we going to create downhill drives for her. And so we went back and forth of just what I thought and then what she thought. So it was more collaborative. I didn't get a late night text, though I'm sure we were both up. But at the same time, we did have collaboration on what I thought her best actions were going to be.
Hi, Coach. Kiki talked about how talented the roster is and how important it is to play as a unit. Something that struck me when I saw the box score was that all 5 starters amassed at least 12 points.
Yeah.
Was that the game plan going in, and how will this game inform the rest of the season?
Well, I think that was one of our really big goals actually coming out of the Final Four. One of our pain points in learning things were we stared at Lauren a whole lot last year, and we needed to have other people. They were capable, but they weren't totally confident. And so figuring out how to get, to not take down an emphasis on we have a superpower in someone there that's going to draw double teams and force rotations, but also having that balance of you're a great basketball player too, and what's your best shot? And how do we help each other create those? And in different games, there's going to be different things. I thought Gianna had one of her best games. She didn't have as many points, but she had 6 rebounds and something you guys don't see on the stat sheet. She had 6 assist box outs. So she took out her player and someone else ran it down. Like, to me, it's all those areas, right? That how can we get them all confident and anticipatory about how they can impact winning on both sides of the ball. And I think that balance is what we're shooting for. And it's not easy. And some games are going to be different than others. And, Texas, was fronting the post and really physical, and I might argue wrapping the post a little bit, but who knows? I mean, what do I know? But the reality is that was a little bit different than what we'd been facing, and so we got to adjust to that and learn about how to take advantage of that and how other people can take advantage of that. Driving lanes were created, and she was playing on the high side. Why didn't we burn them on that? And that's my job, to be a good teacher and adjuster in that. But to see the balance there tells me everybody's learning how to respond in their own way to their own strengths. I thought the biggest example of that was Charlize Ledger-Walker and Kiki Rice, who were both disappointed in how they responded in the Texas game. And then they came back, and I thought in their own way made huge strides to the best versions of themselves. And so that was, I thought, really important for us. Guard play is everything. Hey, appreciate you guys being here. Thank you very much.